the 21st hearing of the Blue Ribbon Subcommittee on proposed Senate resolutions numbers 826 and 1114 is hereby called to order. May I call on Director General Attorney Rudy Kimbo to recognize for the record the presence of our witnesses and other resource persons. But before that, I make of record the presence of Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Attorney Kimbo, please.
Mr. Chair, may I proceed? Currently present are, from the Commission on Audit, representing Commissioner Heidi L. Mendoza, are Director Joseph Anacay, Director Mary Adelino, and Director Lucila Isidro. Representing the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Mr. Ignacio Almira Jr. and Mr. Florencio Chavez. From the City Government of Makati, Mr. Danilo Villas of the Environmental Services, Mrs. Vicia Marie Aldon, Human Resource and Acting Administrator, Engineer Mario Badillo, Makati Acting City Engineer, Engineer Lain de la Peña from the Department of Engineering and Public Works. From the University of Makati, we have Professor Dr. Tomas B. Lopez. From the Boy Scouts of the Philippines, we have Attorney Wendell Avisado, Mayor Del de Guzman of Marikina, who's Vice President for Luzon, Attorney Arthur Umbak, Mr. Dale Corvera, and Mr. Roberto Pagdanganan. From Noble Care, we have Mr. J. Sangalang, and then Mr. Dexter Ortega from Tanya Ortega and Partners. We also have Mr. Antonio Tony L. Tiu. And from Miriras, we have Ms. Aimee S. Chong and Mr. Kimsfer S. Chong. We also have Mr. Federico Cuervo, Attorney Renato Bondal, Engineer Mario Echanova, Mr. Nicolas Ching Enciso, and former Vice Mayor of the City of Makati, Mr. Ernesto Mercado.
Since we have personalities testifying for the first time before this committee, may I ask Attorney Kimbo to administer the oath to all of them?
Those who are here for the first time, kindly stand and raise your right hand. Only those who are here for the first time.
Yes, Mayor Del de Guzman, for the first time. Yeah, please take your oath.
Kindly raise your right hand, Mr. Mayor. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seats.
And the rest are reminded that they will be testifying under the same oath that they have taken previously. Okay, so we have here our Boy Scouts of the Philippines officials because we were anticipating also the presence of Mr. Bobby Ongpin, Attorney Mario Oreta, upon the request of Senator Sergio Osmeña, who wanted to ask questions of them. Unfortunately, Mr. Ongpin is not here, and the letter of his counsel states that he will be unable to attend as he will be out of the Philippines until the end of May, and in a letter dated May 13, 2015. But we actually set this hearing on May 28. I'm explaining this because our Boy Scouts are requesting that they be let go early, no, because they're busy. But because in an earlier letter dated April 29, 2015, Attorney Ponferrada informed this subcommittee that Mr. Ongpin plans to return to Manila sometime during the end of May. So, and therefore will be available to attend the hearing of the Blue Ribbon Subcommittee if such a hearing would be scheduled at that time. So, I think May 28 is already end of May. So we schedule it for May 28, and all of a sudden we get this letter. So I hope our Boy Scout officials understand that if there are delays, the delays are not caused by the subcommittee or any of its members. But Senator Cayetano has some questions for you.
So, Chairman, just before we let go the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and the Boy Scouts of the Philippines also, may representative ba yun? Do we have a representative BSP or AMLAC? Wala. No, so only the Boy Scouts. Yeah. So before we let them go, I just want to ask them one question, Mr. Chair. And let me start with, I really believe in that biblical principle na kung ano itanim mo, yan ang aanihin mo eh. And sa Boy Scout, talagang nagtatanim kayo, for our future leaders. And for the rich, there are many, many opportunities for leadership training. But for those who are born poor or who have less in life, yung Boy Scout ay talagang oportunidad. And I think that's what led people like you to volunteer and to serve. And although ngayon may debate, dapat bang papasukin ng politiko o hindi sa board, the truth is politicians like I know Mayor Del, I know former Governor Pagdanganan, you've done much for the movement. In fact, not only raise money, convince other LGUs to raise money, coordinate with DepEd whenever sometimes they want to cancel some of the activities dahil kulang sa pondo. So, hindi natin minimenos yung ginagawa nyo. But what I wanted to ask you is because we're a rich country eh. Kaya lang our people are poor. Kasi nga, ang tinatanim natin parati, corruption. So, ang inaani talaga natin ay kahirapan. So, in the previous hearings, the Boy Scout, I don't know personally Mr. Avisado, but I know his family. So, I do know, the good reputations that people in front of us carry from the BSP, Having said that, there's been testimony here na pinaubaya kasi yung Boy Scouts, kay Vice President, and then Vice President through one or two people, if I have it right, Vice Mayor Mercado, ibig sabihin, hindi mo inaakusa, can you correct me if I'm wrong, hindi mo inaakusa na yung buong board at lahat ng miyembro ay kasama sa conspiracy at nagnakaw sa Boy Scout or ginamit yung pera.
Tama po.
Ang sinasabi nyo po, may manipulation na nagawa ang Vice President, and because of these manipulations and using one or two other people, imbis na napunta sa Boy Scouts ang benefits, ay napunta sa kanya at sa ilang kumpanya.
Tama po.
Okay. So the reason po I want to ask you this before we let you go, madami ng ebidensya lumabas eh. So halimbawa kay Mr. Oreta, who unfortunately is not here, lumabas na yung joint accounts niya kay Mr. Limlingan, lumalabas na rin yung palitan ng pera, yung sinasabi niyang ayaw niya i-confirm na sa mga kumpanya nila, katulad ng Noble Care, papasok yung 200 million, yung isa after 4 days lalabas, yung isa 100 million lalabas the same day. Lumabas na rin ang joint accounts nila, and pretty soon lalabas, I actually saw on Channel 7 or Channel 2 or both, yung mga bahay ng kay Vice President na sinabi niyang hindi na daw sa kanya at may bumili na korporasyon, yung pala, yung may-ari ng korporasyon nun, si Mr. Oreta. But ang sinasabi ni Mr. Oreta, hindi naman siya ganun ka-close kay VP. In fact, si Vice Mayor Mercado nga daw kausap niya. So, the question I have for you is that when we conclude this hearing and all the evidence comes out and it is very clear that the Vice President and with some specific people, stole from the Boy Scouts, will you, as the protectors of our children, of the Boy Scouts of the Philippines, have the political will, to do what has to be done to cleanse the Boy Scout? Because as late as 2 weeks ago ba, Vice? Di ba yung speech ni Vice President sa Davao ba? Sa Cagayan de Oro?
Opo, sa Cagayan de Oro.
Ang sabi niya, humingi siya ng patawad sa Boy Scout dahil nadamay kayo sa paninira sa kanya. Iba kasi yung nadamay ang Boy Scout dahil sinisiraan siya, iba yung ninakawan ang Boy Scout, kaya totoo yung accusations. Because I think I can speak for Senator Pimentel and especially for Senator Trillanes, who made certain accusations. we will be man enough to apologize to the Boy Scouts and to you, gentlemen who are before us, if it is proven na anomalya, no, sa mga transaction na to. But if there is, no, and you and the people in front of me are not at fault, no, can we expect, no, some political will, no, na ayusin ng Boy Scout, ibig sabihin, bawiin yung property, if you have to rescind it with Alpha Land, and just, you know, restore the faith of our Boy Scouts sa leadership, no. As I said, the investigation is ongoing, so I'll not ask you to make a conclusive statement of what you will do. But if and when it is 100% proven, no, na nagamit, na nakawan ang Boy Scout, no, can our Boy Scouts rely on you, sir? And any one of you or all of you could answer, no? Just to give you an opportunity, no, because I know a lot of the Scout Masters, a lot of the leaders of the Boy Scouts are watching us.
Good morning, Senator Cayetano, Senator Coco. Good morning. The answer is yes. We have always lived by the tenets of Scouting, and we always support and operate by the Scout laws. Be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And in all the years that we've been here, I think I can say that we've always tried to protect the best interests of Scouting. And in this Alpha Land transaction, Your Honor, we maintain that based on the facts and figures that we have as of now, the investment of 600 million out of this land that was donated to us by Goodyear in 1976, the amount and the benefits we're getting so far indicate that it was a good investment. We're now in the process of working on a supplemental agreement based on joint venture agreement to make sure that we're going to get the share that is due the Boy Scouts of the Philippines, and we will pursue that. And as to the other accusations coming out, of course, we leave it to the wisdom of the committee and due process. As far as we're concerned, we'll absolutely continue to pursue the best interests of Scouting and use it for the good of the Scouts. If I may just humbly add, I've been in Scouting since I was 8 years old. I was in the Transport Jamboree, and even before I became a politician, we've always worked on this, and some other politicians have been like that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. And I know you by reputation. I know you personally, no? And I know that you and your fellow members should be treated with respect. And I respect, no, your statement now. But it is also possible, sir, diba, that a good investment na meron pa rin kumita o may kumikbang, no? Because there are two different issues. One issue is napakasama yung deal at napakalaki ng kickback ng isang tao. The other issue is you do have a good investment, yung tinatawag ng iba na win-win. But it's not actually a win-win win because yung ibang nakuha, hindi na dapat pwedeng napunta additionally sa Boy Scout nakuha, no? So meaning, there is a possibility that this committee will conclude and find that meron ngang napuntang pera either from the company of Mr. Ongpin or Mr. Ureta to the Vice President. But that doesn't mean that the Alpha Land was a bad deal. On the other hand, it could also be the opposite. So you're stating right now that upon your review, upon your knowledge, it's a good deal, no? But you don't have any knowledge whether or not meron pong kumuha ng kickback dito. Can you confirm that?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Meaning, sir,
And,
you're not saying na meron nakakuhang kickback, but you're also not saying na walang nakakuha ng kickback because you don't have any knowledge to that.
Precisely, Your Honor,
Okay.
yes. And so did up to the committee, and well, for due process to take place,
Yes.
and whoever will be proven guilty should answer for
Yes.
his or her
Because
mistakes.
even, remember, Satan is a fallen angel. He's an angel, pero nagrebelde sa Diyos. Remember, Judas was an apostle. So
Yes.
even in a tightly knit organization, even in divine organizations, pwede pong may maghudas, pwede pong may hindi alam ng mga kasamahan niya na may ginawang masama, no? And that happens to us even in politics,
Yes.
sir, di ba? Our close associates,
Yeah.
tagal na nating kasama, na-tempt, nagka-problema, di ba? Hindi natin alam the deal seems good pero it went bad, no? May I ask my and I have to disclose, he's my good friend and kumpare, Mayor Del, no? You're also very much respected sa scouting. Would you also like to give an answer, or?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Senator Coco Pimentel, Senator Alan. For the record, I also always be standing by Boy Scouts of the Philippines. Kung inisip natin na kailangan kung mapatunayan man, nandito po tayo para muling ibangon ang pangalan ng Boy Scouts. Kailangan.
Thank you for that. I think hindi naman na-damage yung sa level ng scoutings, no? Sa leadership lang ay may konting pinagdadaanan ngayon. And before we let them go, may I just ask the Vice Mayor if he wants to repeat or renew any calls that he has to his former colleagues in the Boy Scouts of the Philippines.
Bilang tugon lang ho sa pinaliliwanag ni Governor Pagdanganan. Kung hindi ho siguro tayo nagkaroon ng Senate hearing, hindi ho nagising ang miyembro ng National Executive Board. Maliwanag ho yung ebidensya natin. Nagkaroon tayo ng hearing ng January 25. January 26, nagbabayad ng rental ang Alpaland sa parte ng Boy Scout. Siguro ho, yun ay maliwanag ng ebidensya na natutulog ang member ng National Executive Board. Walang makapagtanong, walang makapagsalita, dahil sa totoo lang ho, may offer na nga sa kanila ang Alpaland noon eh. Kung bibigyan ba namin kayo ng 1.2 billion, happy na kayo. Halos tatanggapin na po ng Boy Scout yung 1.2 billion na happy na sila eh. Kaya ho, nung lumabas ito, yung 1.2 billion na ino-offer nun, naging 3 billion na ngayon. Kaya lang nasasabi nila, Governor Pagdanganan, na good deal. Good deal sa tulong ng Senate hearing. Dahil lumabas dito yung mga katiwaliang nangyayari. Ang problema po kasi ng Boy Scout in the past, wala hong pwedeng magtanong kay Vice President Binay. Lahat kasi umaasang magiging presidente si Vice President Binay at karamihan sa member ng board, politician, na umaasa na magkakaroon ng magandang posisyon pag naging presidente na si Vice President Binay. Kaya ko lang ho sinasabi, good deal ngayon. Pero hindi pa rin natin pwedeng sabihin good. Wala pa naman pong na-i-deliver eh. Yung 3 billion po nasa papel pa lang, Mr. Senator. Wala pa pong actual na nakadeliver. Kaya ala pa rin hong good deal. Naniniwala ho akong good deal yan kung nakadeliver na yung pinag-uusapan 3 billion, Your Honor.
And for the record, Mr. Chair, kung totoo yun na sa Boy Scouts ay walang nagtatanong or walang nakakapagtanong, it is the same with this Senate committee. Because two former vice presidents during the Vice President Noli de Castro, during his incumbency as vice president, was called to the Senate and he appeared. No, he answered questions. Former President Ramos was questioned about some power contracts and power plants, no? He appeared before the Senate. And kung kami magtatanong, spokesman niya ang sasagot, hindi siya. So we know the feeling, Mr. Vice President. That's why we renew our calls for the President to the Vice President to answer directly, no, not only to the members of the Boy Scout but to all of us here. So if he can address the CDO, the Cagayan de Oro Boy Scouts in front of them, pero wala rin tanong yun eh. Speech lang yun eh. Walang makapagtanong. But here, he can answer, he can give a presentation, no? And with no more questions on that issue, Mr. President. Mr.
Governor, then I'll ask some questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honor. You're going to ask some questions, sir? Please go ahead.
Go ahead. You want to react to the Vice
Yes,
Mayor?
I wanted
Sige
to
pa.
just say that una po, pinabubulaanan ko yun ang sinabi ni dating Vice Alcalde Mercado na wala nakakapagtanong. Ako po isa sa nagtatanong. At bagamat ako isa sa nagsabi na itong Senate hearings ay nakatulong, at sinabi ko po yan on record, ay labis naman po yung kanyang pag-aakusa na kaya kami ay nasa Boy Scouts sapagkat inaasahan namin magiging presidente. Hindi pa po kumakandidatong presidente, hindi pa pinag-uusapan yan, ay magkakasamahan na kami. At siya sa kasama namin. At kaya po, nakapanlulungkot naman na akusahan niya kami. Sinabi 1.2 billion, nais ko lang po liwanagin na walang ganoong pinag-usapan na bigyan ng 1.2 billion tapos na. yung 1.2 billion po, yun ang appraised value, if I get the figure right, of the third floor, 6,161 square meters ng podium, is 1.232 billion worth, na ngayon po ay nagkaroon ng deed of conveyance sa Boy Scouts. At ito po ay ginagawa na yung proseso para matituluhan. Pero isa lamang po ito sa mga pakinabang ng deal. Hindi pa kasama yung Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3, yung parking area.
Yan ang tanong ko, Gob. Kasi last time, parang sinabi mo na actually, meron kang special assignment na sa Boy Scouts, di ba?
Yes,
ano yung designation sa'yo? You are the...
Ako po ang chairman ng management committee that will work on the supplemental agreement
Correct,
as provided in joint
diba?
venture.
Yes.
At ngayon, pinasa proseso na kami.
Right.
Yes.
And resulta yan ng hearings natin, tama?
Yes. Yes.
I know, kasi bagong pasok ka lang nga. And sinabi mo nga, you're in the process now of identifying. Magpapa-update nga sana ako dun eh.
Opo.
Kumusta na ngayon yung pag-identify ng units? Nasaan na po kayo?
Natanggap na po namin yung cost per unit. Una, yung architectural plan, Your Honor, and the cost per unit of the units in the 2 towers na tapos na. Yung pong Tower 3 ay nasa proseso pa ng paggawa, fit out. Ang lumalabas po doon ay, ang totohanan, nag-meeting lang po kami kamakailan, o isang linggo, at nasa process na po, identify na namin, kasi ang punto na trabaho ng management committee ay identify sa Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3, at yung pati yung mga parking areas na siguruhin na 15% of total value will accrue to us. At ito po ay nandun sa joint venture agreement. So malapit na po yung Tower 1, Tower 2.
Anong bottom line yung tinitignan ninyo na 15% ninyo?
Yung sa total value po, kasi po doon sa joint venture agreement ay batay sa floor area. Pero may kulatilya po doon, nagbubuo nga ng supplemental agreement at kaya nga po ako na-designated chairman ng committee para siguruhin na 15% of the total value ng Tower 1, 15% of the total value of Tower 2 and Tower 3, as well as the floor area of the parking area, podium tapos na po yun makukuha na nga namin, ay mapunta sa Boy Scout. At
Wala kayong projection? Ano yung, at the end of all of this exercise, ano yung magiging 15% halaga?
Sa ngayon po ay mga 3.2 billion. Nagkaroon po ng appraisal tulad ng napag-usapan sa Senate hearing. We commissioned a private appraisal group, Philippine Appraisal Company, at doon po lumabas yung 200,000 per square meter doon sa podium. Yun nga po yung 1.232 billion pesos worth na matatanggap namin.
So yung sa towers, more or less 2 billion pa. Kasi kung isama mo yung 1.2 sa 2 billion, 3.2. Yun yung totality na, okay.
And more for the parking areas.
And then, dahil din sa hearing natin, naklaro rin na hindi kayo nakalimita sa Tower 3. Kasi sabi mo, meron ka ng Tower 1 and Tower 2 shares, tama?
Yes.
Dahil merong mga paperwork na pagbasahin mo, nalilimita ang Boy Scout sa Tower 3. So we have to concede nga na, and I would like to congratulate our whistleblower, Vice Mayor Mercado, for bringing this out. At least na marami kayong naayos.
Yes, and if I may just add one more thing, Your Honor. Sa ngayon po, hindi naman totoong walang kinikita. Sa totoo po, ang totohanan doon lang sa podium, ay kumikita na po ng, ito yung lumabas din.
Rent, di ba?
Yes.
Pero anong date nyo una natanggap yung cheque? Anong date?
Hearing tayo.
January of this year.
Yes. And
nag-umpisa na rin yung hearing natin.
yes.
Opo.
Yes, Your Honor. And now, we're working on another contract, and ultimately, just on podium alone, Your Honor, we're standing to gain an annual income of as much as 20 million pesos just on podium 3, on the third floor podium alone. So this has been useful, and we acknowledge that, Your Honor. Yeah.
We have here some COA officials who can testify on the BSP Alphaland deal. Director Anakay?
Sir, yung pong nangyari po yun nung hindi pa nadideclare na GOCC yung Boy Scouts. So, at present po, yung team po, as I said before, it started the audit only in 2013, covering transactions of 2012.
Yeah. Director, may I ask, because in the previous hearings, no, both the BSP and the COA agreed that there is no prohibition from retroactivity from the decision, because the decision is not saying that from now on you can audit. The decision says that it should have always been subject to audit. So in the previous hearings, and sorry sir, no, I just do not remember if it was you or another director who said that they are already in the process of doing, but there are some documents that have not been submitted by either Alpha Land or BSP. So do you now have all these documents, and are you now doing an analysis on this?
Your Honor, we have issued the initial report, and the audit is being continued by the Fraud Audit Office.
So it's being done. It's
Yes,
in
sir.
process.
Yes, Your Honor.
And we'll wait for that.
Opo.
Okay.
Meron pa rin ako sa base scouts. Okay. It has been mentioned that Mr. Jerry Limlingan was sometimes or all the time present in the meetings between Alpha Land and Boy Scouts officials. Can you comment on this allegation?
I was in many meetings. I never saw him attend. Not a single occasion did I see him attend a meeting. He was never involved as far as we're concerned.
Attorney Wendell, maybe. May I ask Attorney Wendell?
Never, I did not see him in any of these meetings.
In
The Boy Scout meeting.
in the preliminary or whatever meetings regarding the joint venture.
Yes.
Okay, so Senator Cayetano.